Good evening and welcome to NEWSBREAK Live. I'm Hiba Samad. Thanks for joining us. A big name sporting goods retailer is gearing up for the holidays. Dick's Sporting Goods announced it's hosting its own national signing day tomorrow to support the company's hiring efforts for seasonal teammate positions nationwide. Torrance is one of the locations looking to hire, and tomorrow you can show up to be interviewed while meeting the team. Officials say ideal applicants will use their personal experiences and in-depth knowledge to guide, inform, equip, and inspire customers. If you're interested, apply online first and then visit one of the locations. The company hopes to hire up to 5,000 new employees nationwide tomorrow. Visit dicks.com/jobs to learn more. If you're imagining how you would spend $1 billion, you're not alone. Today's Mega Millions drawing is for a jackpot estimated at $1.6 billion, which would be the nation's largest ever. For this big one, the one-time cash option is estimated at $905 million. No one has won the Mega Millions jackpot since July 24th. Now the chances of you winning is 1 in 302.6 million. We caught up with some locals to find out what they would do
mainly,
if they won.
Just helping a lot of people out, because I've had a lot of people do me, right. I've had a happy life, and I've got a lot to share.
So I'm going to put some money towards charity, hopefully build a church back in the hometown in the Philippines, and live life as we go.
A local pumpkin patch is bustling with business. Mr. Jones Pumpkin Patch, a family-owned business, is open right now on Pacific Coast Highway near Zamperini Field. Every year, the business not only sells pumpkins, but has activities for families, including a petting zoo. Some popular pumpkins includes the Jack B. Littles, Cinderellas, and the regular ones. The patch also sells the Big Mac, pumpkins that are 130 to 150 pounds. Mr. Jones Pumpkin Patch started in 1981, and on opening day, they had more than 1,000 pumpkins. They're grown in San Joaquin Valley, Manteca, and Oregon. We stopped by to check it out.
I try and pick out pumpkins with really nice stems every year, but any pumpkin, as long as you could carve it.
Experts say there are some tips you can follow when picking your pumpkins, including don't pick any with visible bruising or other irregular spots. Try to choose pumpkins that are smooth and uniform. Don't pick any ones from the stem. Their address is 3825 Pacific Coast Highway. For those closer to the Civic Center, you can check out Catoni and Sons on Madrona Avenue. The addresses are on your screen. The Torrance Salvation Army is looking for volunteers to help them out with one of their largest campaigns. They're currently looking for volunteer groups to take part in the Red Kettle Campaign. For the first time this year, the Torrance Salvation Army team launched a new webpage where people can go online and submit their details to participate, and then someone from their office will contact them. The Kettle Campaign kicks off on November 23rd. A brand new opportunity this year is that a local business and organizations can adopt a kettle and sponsor a kettle location, and in return, the business will be recognized on the kettle or on a sign. In 2017, the campaign raised more than $144 million. It provides toys for kids, coats for the homeless, food, and countless social service programs year-round. More than 25,000 volunteers throughout the country ring bells and accept donations during this time. To sign up, go to torrancecorps.org/redkettle. You can participate in the nation's largest community service day this week. City Council will proclaim October 27th as Make a Difference Day. There will be an event at the Madrona Marsh Preserve this Saturday where community members can come out from 8:30 a.m. to noon and volunteer. The National Community Service Day was created in 1992 by USA Weekend magazine, and since then there have been more than 1,200 community service days. It was a day people spent with their best canine friends to raise funds and awareness for the American Cancer Society's fight against cancer.
Canines and their companions came together at Wilson Park in Torrance for a day of fun and to support a great cause one step and paw print at a time.
What I always say is if you like Relay for Life, you will really love Bark for Life.
This year's Bark for Life raised over $6,000 for the American Cancer Society. Bark for Life is part of the Torrance Relay for Life and gives people a chance to give back with their canine companion.
Today we're at our Bark for Life. It's an event we started for our dogs because so many people would like to bring their dogs to Relay for Life.
The event kicked off with opening ceremonies before a survivor's lap around the park. In addition to walking, pups and their parents could participate in different games, including a costume contest and peanut butter eating contest.
Well, Bark for Life is a great event. It gives an opportunity to be outside in our park with like-minded people who like pets and hate cancer.
Hounds and their humans got the chance to meet local businesses at the event. They could even get a temporary paint design on their pup from one of the vendors.
So we had a little spray paint action done. We got a nice little kitty cat and a orange skull on him for, the Halloween festivities, and we're just having a blast.
And Bark for Life keeps people coming back year after year to support a great cause and spend a Sunday afternoon with their pup.
It's great. I feel like it just gets better every year. There's always more vendors and more fun things to do, like the spray paint. That's new. Never been here before, so we just love it. It's a great time to join the community with all of our animals.
Our Canine Corner team was the top fundraising team at the event, and that money funds cancer research and programs for patients and their families. The event brings together all those affected by cancer.
I have a sister that is just a cancer survivor, so we wanted to come out and support the cause. And then I just thought it'd be a nice time for Addie to meet other dogs and, to socialize her more. So that'd be a great time.
And through all of the fun, everyone was focused on the message of the event.
I am a 17-year breast cancer survivor, so I can tell you firsthand, just the community itself having the support is a wonderful thing.
The event not only raises money for cancer research, but also promotes awareness about the work the American Cancer Society does.
The American Cancer Society provides lots of services, rides if you can't, you make it to your chemo appointments. You can get a wig if you can't afford a wig. There are a lot of services.
And canines and their companions will continue coming together for the cause. For City Cable, I'm Rhiannon Chertanich.
Thanks, Rhiannon. The Torrance Relay for Life is happening on April 27th and 28th, 2019. For more information on Bark for Life or Relay for Life, please visit relayforlife.org/TorranceCA. El Camino College is partnering up with other institutions to make sure students have the opportunity to get a degree in one of the most growing fields. El Camino College, along with 2 California State University campuses and a Northern California community college, will implement a 4-year computer science bachelor's degree pathway from the community college to the university level. This is possible thanks to a recent grant of $5 million by the National Science Foundation. The new initiative will help with the shortage of educated computer scientists, producing a strong demand from industry to fill this important talent pipeline. The grant program will fund 240 scholarships for students pursuing a degree in the field. For more information on El Camino College's computer science program, go to elcamino.edu. If you're a veteran, the City of Torrance is making sure you have all the resources you need. There are 2 days left to register for the city's Veterans Appreciation Lunch and Resource Fair that is also being put on by the City of Torrance's Social Services Commission. It will take place on Friday, November 9th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Torrance Cultural Arts Center. Space is limited and veterans are allowed 1 guest. There will also be a lunch. The Social Services Commission addresses issues concerning the city's veterans, homeless population, adults with developmental disabilities, and children with special needs. To RSVP for the Veterans event, call 310-618-5880. With the first game of the World Series underway right now, the Los Angeles Dodgers playing the Boston Red Sox, here are some food deals you won't want to miss. Taco Bell will be giving away free Doritos Locos Tacos if a base is stolen during the series with a Steal a Base, Steal a Taco promotion. Then Red Car Brewery in downtown Torrance is offering happy hour throughout the whole game. This will include the chance to buy their popular tacos and sliders at the bar only. Keegan's Pub in downtown Torrance will have its regular happy hour from 4 to 7 p.m., where you can also buy a special Dodger shot. Then Frida Mexican Cuisine is offering happy hour all day at their locations during the World Series, including the one right here in Torrance at the Del Amo Fashion Center. Now let's get to the weather. Today there was a high of 72 degrees with a low of 50 expected tonight. Then tomorrow will warm up a bit with a high of 77 degrees and a low of 59. Then on Thursday will stay steady with a high of 77 degrees. Tonight's sunset will happen at 6:10 p.m. Millions of pounds of ready-to-eat food is being recalled. Salads, pre-made food items, including entrees, burritos, wraps, and pizzas, at several big-name retailers such as Whole Foods, 7-Eleven, Trader Joe's, and Walmart have been recalled due to the potential risk of listeria and salmonella contamination. A dozen food manufacturers notified the United States Department of Agriculture about products they shipped that could include ingredients such as corn, diced onions, and other vegetables possibly tainted with bacteria. The initial recall included 217 to 940 pounds of salads, but the latest also includes hundreds of thousands of ready-to-eat meat and poultry products. Some products removed are Whole Foods Santa Fe style salad with chicken, Trader Joe's labeled barbecue flavored chicken salad, and Walmart's market side Fiesta salad with steak. It's recommended for consumers to check out the recall section of the Food and Drug Administration website and the USDA website to check the complete list of products being recalled. A popular cereal that was recently recalled is returning to stores in November. Honey Smacks will be available in limited quantities soon. It was recalled in the summer after the Kellogg Company cereal was linked to a salmonella outbreak. The company will be using a new production facility. Officials say the cereal will have a simpler, updated recipe while still being sweet. Honey Smacks was first introduced in 1953. Now, here are some upcoming events. Right now, the Torrance Area Chamber of Commerce Business Expo and Showcase is underway until 7:30 p.m. if you'd like to stop by. There will be more than 125 businesses that are displaying their services. It's taking place at the Torrance Marriott. Admission and parking is free. The Golden State Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu will host a Parents' Night Out Halloween party this Friday from 5 to 9 p.m. Dress to impress in your best costume along with your kids. Tickets are $25 for purchase. Go to goldenstatebjj.com. You can enjoy food, drinks, games, and activities. And this Saturday, you can support a great cause. The Dine, Drink, and Donate Pink Party at the Del Amo Fashion Center will assist cancer support groups in the community. Attendees will be able to enjoy live music and delicious bites from restaurants. It will take place from 2 to 5 p.m. You can get tickets at eventbrite.com. Well, in just 2 minutes, Chuck Schaich, Senior Administrative Analyst of Water Operations for the City of Torrance, will join me to talk about water conservation. We'll be back in just a few.
Yes, but see, you don't have a college degree.
Well, no, but I
Okay,
can.
well...
Wait. Before you skip over me, can you at least hear me out? No, I do not have a college degree, but I've been working 2 jobs since the age of 18. I've been doing internships while raising my little brother, and any moment that I can spare, I'm studying, just trying to better myself. Okay, I'm ready for this.
Wow. I'd love to hear more.
Look beyond the resume and discover new ways to develop great talent at gradsoflife.org.
When I was in high school, I was physically at school, but my mind wasn't at school. I had problems at home, and that's hard when you feel like you're doing it alone. That's when I met our niece, my mom, as I'll call her. She started helping me a little bit, like, Nia, I don't know what you're doing with your life, but your future is more important. She's my strength. Just being a support for those hard days and those hard nights, not giving up on me. Thank you to my mama. I wouldn't have did this if it wasn't for her. Today is for my mama and everybody who had my back. It takes a village to help somebody get their diploma. Some people would think, well, maybe it's really not that big of a deal, but it really is. It changes your whole life.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Welcome back to the second half of NEWSBREAK Live, and joining me is Chuck Schaich, who is the Senior Administrative Analyst of Water Operations for the City of Torrance. Thanks so much for joining me this evening.
Thank you for having us.
And there's a great upcoming event the city has hosted for years, and it's the Rain Barrel Distribution Program. So talk to me about that, since registration is underway right now.
It's a great program, Hiba. We actually give away 600 rain barrels at this event. It's held at West High, the parking lot of West High School. The intent is really to capture rainwater that comes off your roof, and it does a couple things. First of all, that captured rainwater can be used on your garden and your landscaped area. And the second big part of this is, if you did not capture that water would eventually go down to your storm drains and into the ocean and pollute the ocean. So it has two major functions. One is to capture that water so it can be reused for your lawn and for your landscaped area. The program is actually open to Torrance residents, and the website you want to go on is SBESC, then go to events, and that is the registration form, and you do have to pre-register the event. The event has tremendous response, and we generally are fully subscribed by the day of the event.
And usually there's a line at the high school lot with cars just waiting. Apparently you can get 2 per household, is that correct?
It's a maximum of 2 per household if we have them available, but we want you to get at least 1. And if we have the 2 available, you'll get 2. However, if the demand is such, we may have to restrict it to 1. We hope to get you 2, but we can't guarantee that.
The event takes place on November 3rd at 11 a.m. But the good news is, if you miss registration, it's full. People can still stop by, first come, first serve, and maybe pick up some barrels that are left over. Is that true?
Yeah, absolutely. At 11 a.m., we have all the pre-registered guests, and after 11 a.m., if we have any barrels left over, we will give them away on a first-come, first-served basis at the West High parking lot. So you can stop by. We can't guarantee that, but generally we do have some barrels left over, and it'll be a first-come, first-served basis.
Why did the city partner up with the South Bay City's Council of Governments to host such an event for apparently 5 years now?
Well, this is actually our 4th year.
Okay.
But actually, the South Bay Environmental Services Center is a major partner of ours. We've been partnering with them for about 10 years on a variety of conservation programs. They provide some outreach services to us, promotional services, and registration services. And they're a great partner. We have a number of great partners we work with, and including the Metropolitan Water District of Southern California, who's our main supplier of water, the Water Replenishment District of Southern California, as well as the West Basin Municipal Water District. So this is a partnership enterprise, not just for this program, but for many of our programs.
And for many who don't know, the city of Torrance and the residents who live here are big on the forefront of conserving water and energy here. So talk to me about how just something simple as having a rain barrel in your backyard can have a great impact for the future in our environment.
Well, it does a couple of things. Number one, it does capture that rainwater that comes off your roof, and that water would generally go down to your storm drain and eventually go out to the ocean. And that captured water can be reused, in fact, is reused for your landscaped area once the rain stops and you enter the drier season. So it becomes a source of water that you can use rather than tap water for your irrigation. So it saves water, also helps the environment, and frankly, it also is a gateway program to all of our other conservation programs. We've had great response on this program, and this program makes our residents aware of other programs that we offer.
And we're going to talk about those programs in just a minute, but I do want residents to know that if they do miss this event that's coming up on November 3rd, they can still pick up a barrel through the Metropolitan Water District. Talk to me about that rebate program.
Yeah, it's a rebate program which is offered, actually the website is bewaterwise.com. You go to rebates, and there's a rebate. The rebate is $35 per rain barrel, and you can buy these rain barrels at oftentimes at Home Depot or Lowe's, generally carry them, or online. The rebate is $35. It will not cover generally the full cost of the rain barrel, but it'll cover a portion of that cost.
Over the years, the state of California has combated a drought. There has been so much stuff that's been happening in our environment. So talk to me about conservation efforts here in the city. What has the community done over the few years?
It's been a tremendous response. First of all, our conservation efforts really started about 1990 on a full basis. And since that time, we have conserved about 40% of the water we used to use in 1990. And actually, going back even a few years ago, we had a major drought, in fact, the worst drought in our history in 2015-16. And we were mandated by the state to cut back 20%. We actually achieved that goal thanks to our residents who have done a fantastic job. And also, all our customers have done a great job, but single-family residents have actually, their water use is down about 50% from what it was 27 years ago, which is remarkable. So we've had a tremendous response to our conservation efforts, and our customers and residents have done a remarkable job in conserving.
At one point, ordinances were implemented to encourage people to conserve more. So right now, at this time, what should community members do? Should they still be conscious of saving water at all times?
Absolutely. Droughts are endemic to California. The one thing I can guarantee is we're going to have another one. Can't tell you when. And they tend to be more frequent and more severe.
Okay.
So we will have to conserve indefinitely. And we ask you to maintain the same practices you've been doing actually for a number of years, particularly the last 3 or 4 years, and not to waste water, obviously to avoid wasting of water at all times. And again, as I say, our customers have done a tremendous job, and we ask that they continue to do the same practices that they've been doing for these last few years.
Wonderful. And there is another way that the city is reusing water. Talk to me about the Goldsworthy Desalter project that was actually completed this year. We were there at the ribbon cutting ceremony. For many residents who may not know what we have right here in our city.
Yeah, actually beneath our feet as we sit right here, we have saline water. That's water that's been infiltrated from the ocean, and it mixes with fresh water. We can't use that because it's got too much salt. So we pump that water out, and we treat it by a process called reverse osmosis. And actually, our original desalter was built about 15 years ago, in 2002 actually. That was stage 1. And last year we actually built stage 2 and expanded the project to double its capacity. To put it in perspective, the Goldsworthy expanded desalter will produce about 20 to 25% of our drinking water. So it's been a tremendous asset, taking an unusable resource, making it into fresh potable water, and removing this brackish water from this groundwater basin to make that usable again also.
How does this benefit the city when it comes to drinking water down the line?
Well, actually, this is a drought-proof source of water. This water is there, and it can be used, and it's not going to be affected by climate. It's not going to be affected by imported water shortages or snowpack. So it's a reliable, dependable, sustainable source of water.
Great. And the city also hosts many California-friendly landscaping classes here in the city of Torrance. There's been so many that have been hosted. Talk to me about this partnership and the purpose of it. There is one coming up soon, right?
Yeah, we've got a couple coming up. Actually, our next one is going to be November 17th at the Madrona Marsh Nature Center. On December 1st, we have another class, which is going to be at West High School. We offer about 10 or 12 classes per year, and they're based on sustainable landscaping principles, basically water conservation techniques, and we call it California-friendly landscaping, and that's what it really is. It's sustainability, reliability, and water efficiency, and whether you remove your turf, replace it with California-friendly, or even you maintain your current lawn, it'll give you techniques and strategies to use your water in a more efficient way.
The great part, it's free. They can get more information on torranceca.gov to register or go to the South Bay Environmental Service Center website. And it's about 3 to 3.5 hours long, and it's great information.
It's fantastic. We've had great turnover and great turnout, in the last 4 classes, which we offered in the summertime, which are generally our slower period. We've had about average of 70 residents attend. So it's a really, really good class. I encourage you all to attend.
So what else is on the forefront? Talk to me about water reliability and any other initiatives that your team is working on.
Yeah, really, reliability, dependability, sustainability. Those are our 3 main goals. And those goals, conservation is at the forefront of this. This is our first choice of strategies to conserve water. What we conserve, we preserve, essentially, for the future. But our second part of this is local water resource development. Right now, the city of Torrance, and actually the entire South Bay, about 80% of our water comes from imported water sources, generally from the Metropolitan Water District of Southern California through man-made aqueducts. And that's the water during droughts that's going to be cut off or curtailed. And we are on a concerted program to diversify our water source and our water mix, flip-flop that 20%, 80% ratio to about 70, 80% local supplies. And the first element of that is the Goldsworthy expansion that we just did last spring. We also have a major wellfield project called the North Torrance Wellfield Project, which is being developed. That's going to have 2 additional groundwater wells. That'll increase reduce our dependence on imported water to less than 50%. And we have a third project, which is going forward, which we call our Van Ness Wellfield Project, to bring 3 more fresh groundwater wells into the city. And a combination of all these things will be able to increase our local supplies, which are much more drought resistant and drought proof than imported water, and kind of flip-flop that huge dependence we have on imported water to essentially a local water source community.
Before we go, is there anything else you'd like to add? I mean, the city of Torrance has so many conservation efforts. Compared to the rest of the South Bay or other cities in Los Angeles County, how are we doing?
Well, I just want to say that South Bay in general is moving in this direction, that we're moving it also. So it's not just us. Many agencies are doing similar programs. I think, though, in 5 or 6 years, we're going to have a very sustainable, primarily local water source community, which is going to enhance our reliability long term.
Thank you so much for your time, Chuck.
Thank you, Hiba.
Have a great night. Well, that does it for NewsBreak Live. And if you ever want more information about water operations here in the city of Torrance, make sure to go to torranceca.gov. And if you have news or video that you'd like to share with us, please email us at newsbreak@torranceca.gov. Also, if you missed any portion of the show, you can catch it all on Torrance City Cable's YouTube page. Have a great night.